Hey everyone, it's me, Ari Dossett, from Rashid. I'm an anthropologist and sociologist. Hit the like button, share this live stream, subscribe to the channel, become a member channel, and don't forget, donate the links below. Thank you very much for your donations. And check my novels on Amazon. Thank you very much. Um, let's see. You should be able to hear me clearly. Hold on. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me clearly in the live chat, please. Thank you very much. I was drinking some little bit of soup over here while the intro was playing. I'm about to finish it soon during the live stream also, okay? How are y'all doing today? Let me know in the live chat first. How are y'all doing today? All right. I'm about to share my screen here very soon, so be patient. Um, hold on. How are y'all doing? God, that's good. See, Maria is here. Hi, Maria. Mana is here. Hi, Mana. I'm doing well too. Praise God. I command healing over your body now, Maria Garcia, in Garcia's mighty name. Your shoulder will be fine. Amen. Okay, let me share the screen with you. Okay. Should be able to see the screen. This is from the Human Rights Watch. That's an organization that checks governments worldwide whether or not they go too far with their legislation and their law enforcement. Okay? Okay, let's read this. Now, this is a protest people claim have the right to boycott over here. Now, let's read this one 2019, the 23rd of April. It's a while ago, but it is before it's before the global health crisis of 2020 and before the Israeli-Hamas war that started in 2023. Read. Many United states are using anti-boycott laws and executive orders to punish companies that refuse to do business with illegal Israeli settlements in the West Bank. Human Rights Watch said today more than 250 million Americans, some 78% of the population, live in states with anti-boycott laws or policies. 27 states have adopted laws or policies that penalize businesses, organizations, or individuals that engage in or call for boycotts against Israel. The laws or policies in 70 of those states explicitly target not only companies that refuse to do business with Israel, but also those that refuse to do business in Israeli settlements. Some states whose laws do not explicitly apply to settlements have also penalized companies that cut settlement ties. States with anti-boycott laws are effectively telling companies if you do the right thing and disengage yourself from settlement abuses, you can't do business with us, said Andrea Porcelo, Deputy U.S. Advocacy Director at Human Rights Watch. States should encourage, not sanction, companies that avoid contributing to rights abuses. Many states have anti-boycott laws or policies that extend to individuals and companies that enter into business contracts with states. These laws and policies require people to enter into contracts to assert that they will not engage in any boycott activity. Okay, I'm not going to read all of it, but okay. Let's let's go to the West Bank, which part of the state of Palestine, as you can see over here. Now, the West Bank is under Israeli occupation, which, according to international law, is illegal. There are over 700,000 Israelis living in the West Bank in specific settlements, which are illegal by international law, and that land is stolen from Palestinians who live there. They often kick out families from their own homeland and their farmland and build settlements. And then there are roads that a lot of Palestinians aren't allowed to use in their own country. So this is a big controversial issue. So there are many human rights being abused with these settlements. Now, hey, let's forget about this for a moment. Let's go to something else. Let me just stop the screen sharing. Let's say now that in China, there are many factories. Let's say in China, there are many factories where they do child labor, abusing children. And let's say now that you are from the United States, you're from the state of California, and you have a business, you and your family have a business, and you find out that the Chinese company you had a contract with is involved in child trafficking and child labor. and you decide, okay, we're going to cut off the contract. Now, of course, you have to go to a judge with it because you suddenly want to break the contract. And what do you think the judge in the United States is going to say? Let me know in the live chat. What do you think the judge in the United States is going to say if you want to break a business contract you have with a Chinese business that abuses children in China? And you say, I do not want to participate in this or be associated with it. What do you think the judge in the United States will say if you say, I want to break my contract with this company immediately? What do you think? Let me know in the live chat. What do you think? What do you think? You're an American citizen living in the United States of America, and it's a company in China who abuses children in China. And you say, I don't want to be involved, I don't want to be associated with that company. Well, guess what? The judge would say, listen, you're a private business, you're not funded by the government, you're not funded by China. So if you don't want to do business with people, nobody forces you to get involved with them anyway. So if you decide that you want to cut down the business relationship, you can break the contract. This is how it happens everywhere. If there are two companies in a contract and one decides, or maybe two or three companies in a contract, and one decides, I want to leave, and they have a legitimate reason like human rights abuses that are done by another party, A, any lawyer may want to take that case because the high probability you will win. But what if the judge would say, sir, what you're doing is wrong. No matter if they harm and abuse children over there, yeah, you want to be associated with that, you just have to continue to do the contract. As a matter of fact, if you break the contract, we'll prosecute you. If this would happen, if there was a Chinese company abusing the well-being of Chinese children, also foreign children in China, and you as American citizens find out, listen, we don't be involved with this because this goes against our values. And in America, we are guaranteed freedom under the law. And if any judge in America would say, no, you have to stay involved with a Chinese company that abuses children, it will be big news. It will cause riots in America. So we'll say this goes against the United States of America. America is all about liberty. It's all about freedom. America, we have freedom over here. What the heck is this? But guess what? Forget China. But instead, you have Israeli settlements illegally on international law in another country, Palestine. Now, they will say you'll be prosecuted. Both your company will prosecute it, as well as your business. Because you don't want to be involved with people that abuse others based on racism. Anti-Palestinian racism or Islamophobia, if you want to call it. If you decide you don't be involved with those Israeli settlements, you're the bad guy. Here's the difference. The Chinese are Asians. The Israelis, for not all of them, but for a big part, they're associated with whiteness. Because not all of them, but a lot of them, their ancestors they came from Europe after the Second World War. Some before that. So let me get it straight. You have quote unquote white people, as they label them, committing, breaking international law in another country that it shouldn't be doing. And you, as an American citizen, says, I don't want to be associated with that. Now they punish you. Instead of putting sanctions on those other people who are doing it, they will come after you. And what's the difference here? America, which was founded on white supremacy, and now you have so-called people labeled as white committing crimes against people of color abroad. Oh, so it's actually white supremacy. Okay. You see how this goes? A lot of Americans aren't even aware that these anti-boycott laws even exist. So I just revealed it onto you. Now, And this was all going on before the 7th of October 2023, when Hamas launched its big attack on the state of Israel and took 250 hostages. So it didn't all begin on October 7th. This was going on long before that. So now, why am I talking about this? Because let me share my screen again. Hold on. I need to do it one more time. Let me do it correct this time. So, there has been, so this has to deal with anti-boycott laws and all of that. But anyway, also anti-defamation laws. So in many of these states, don't say anything bad about Israeli activities because you'll get in trouble. But there's been many people who's been boycotting the state of Israel for its human rights abuses. There are even countries Israelis can't even enter in. So now why am I talking about this? Because a few days ago, you had Israeli hooligans causing trouble in Amsterdam. They were chanting slurs against Arabs, even though there's a small percentage of Amsterdam that are from Arab ancestry. And they attacked people, they were vandalizing stuff, and they also burned Palestinian flags. Well, there was a backlash. Locals in Amsterdam fought back and kicked their ass. And worldwide, there was a saying that, oh, people are hunting on Jews right now. Oh, we need to protect the Jews. Oh, people get very emotional about it, even, especially in politics. But then people notice, why is nobody talking about the bullshit that the Israeli hooligans were doing? Now, they did mention eventually the violence by the Israeli hooligans, but then they say, yeah, but it's not an excuse. Okay, I'm not condoning any of the situation. But as a matter of fact, when those Israeli hooligans were going nuts in Amsterdam, there were police officers around, and this football club, these football hooligans from Israel were known to cause trouble overseas. So the police was aware of it. Why didn't the police intervene and stop them? Where was the Dutch police when the Israeli hooligans were going nuts? But hey, when the public fought back, now it's a problem. And worldwide, a lot of people calling this out, thinking, what the heck is this? Apart from that, there was a forbidden demonstration happened where police went crazy, beating people up and like that. And based on that, there were riots last night. A tram caught fire. Um, these are one of the caught fire. Actually, they attempted to blow it up. So this is what happened. I'm going to play it now. Someone screaming, what the heck are you doing, man? Someone screaming now. It's in Dutch while I translate it.
What is it?
Where were the police with all their gear and all their violence when the Israeli hooligans were going nuts? Where were they? They should be the ones who stopped it, not the local population. Now, what I just showed you had nothing to do with the Israeli hooligans because this happened days after they already left Amsterdam. But what I'm saying is, if the police would have stopped them, a lot of this would have happened, likely. I'm not putting all the blame on the police. They say the hooligans were wrong, and a lot of these other people who took matters in their own hands. They're wrong too. For on one part, on the other hand, you should stand up when people, foreigners, come to your city and cause trouble. But strange, they do appear when it's colored people or other Dutch people, native Dutch people, who are protesting and call things out. But how come when it's Israelis were there, they know what to do? Hey, I'm being critical. I have a right to be critical over here. Okay. So there was a meeting today in Amsterdam in which the city council was discussing it. This is the mayor of Amsterdam, by the way, Miss Halsema, and they were discussing the discussing whole situation. And it was a fierce debate in the city council. By the way, Amsterdam is the capital of the Netherlands, but the thing is, the government's in The Hague. So Amsterdam is the capital, but more symbolically in other tradition, even though the set of government of the Netherlands isn't even there. But anyway, um, so now that happened. The Dutch Prime Minister, this him over here in the middle, also had something to say about it, even though he was quite weak, kind of. Hey, I'm just saying for what it is. The Western world is showing the cult they really are. That is what they're showing right now to the full. And here's another thing I want to show you. This happened recently. Saudi Arabia's ambassador, this Mohammed bin Salman, I believe, that's the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, demands immediate end to Israel's war in Gaza and Lebanon. These are many Arab leaders over here. The president of Palestine was there too. They're all standing here. And they had a meeting discussing on what to do with the Gaza and the Lebanon situation. And let me tell you, these are not all these Arab nations over here. I'm not sure if every Arab nation was there, but you see there were a lot there. They show unity, clarity, while the West is continuously debating all the time. While the West has unity, unity invites supremacy, which doesn't work anymore, but people don't want to get it. Then you have this joker over here, this clown over here, the far-right Israeli Minister of Finance wants to annex the West Bank over here. But here's an issue. There are around 3.5 million Palestinians living there in the West Bank who are Palestinian citizens. Now you have 2 million Palestinians or Arabs that live in Israel itself, or who have Israeli citizenship, but as Arabs. So you have Palestinians who live inside Israel with Israeli citizenship. You have Palestinians that live in Gaza, and Palestinians live in the West Bank. Those in Gaza and West Bank have Palestinian citizenship, not Israeli citizenship. And the thing is, this joker over here does not want to give those 3.5 million Palestinians Israeli citizenship. He wants them to become residents without any rights or very minimal rights, or they have to be deported elsewhere or face death. He even went to social media and promoting this crap. A lot of people called him out on it. What is he doing? But this reprobate ain't stopping. So, by the way, I can clearly see this guy is demon possessed because I can see in the spirit world. A lot of these people are in the background also. Now, what I'm saying is that I wanted to show you something very quickly. Hold on. Yes, I'm over there. Let me share my screen again. Okay, you should be able to see me. Here you can see the true size of any country. Because this map is a projection, so these are not the true size of a country. For example, so this United States, this big United States is above Europe or about Russia or whatever. Let's say you take, for example, Cuba. Let me go to, well, let me say Peru. Now I can over Peru around, see how big Peru is. This how big Peru is compared to the United States. Okay, let's put Peru back where it belongs. Let's type in the Netherlands. And it also takes overseas territories to the Netherlands with. Okay, this is the Netherlands. Let's bring to the United States so you can see how big the Netherlands compared to the United States. As you can see, the Netherlands, the state of Michigan is bigger than the Netherlands. Also, Wisconsin and Minnesota. I believe Minnesota is twice the size of the Netherlands. So Netherlands is not really that big to begin with. Okay. Hold on, I'll show you where I'm heading with this. Just wait a minute. So let's type in Palestine. Okay. Which are these two areas over here that Israel doesn't want to let go. Let's see how big they are. Gaza and the West Bank. Let's put it above the Netherlands. Well, for the Netherlands, it is kind of big still, those two territories. If you put Gaza above the Hague area, I live in the Hague right over here, so it's it's not really that tiny. The West Bank is a bit bigger. It's like North and South Holland together. Let's go to the United States, because a lot of you are from the United States, and to show you how big Palestine is. Current Palestine under the 1967 borders. From which state are you? Oh, let me know in the live chat. From which state are you? Because I'm going to put Palestine above the state you're from so you can see how big it is compared to your state. From which states are you? Let me know in the live chat. All right. Nevada. Okay, let's go to Nevada. Oh, Nevada's over there. Okay, Nevada. Oh, we can see the borders clearly. This is Nevada over here. And look at how small Palestine is compared to Nevada. I believe one of you is from Mississippi, so let's go to Mississippi. This is where is Mississippi? Oh, this state of Mississippi right over here. This thing is from the state of Mississippi. Look at this. That's it. It's not a tiny place, but there's not much land. Look at Florida, all that. And imagine the state of Israel dropped more bombs on this tiny Gaza over here, where 2.3 million lived packed together. They dropped more bombs on that place than were dropped during the Second World War on Europe. I mean, what the hell? And still, the militias are not defeated. And now they want to war with Iran, attacking Lebanon. Man, they're going crazy. And also at war with the Houthis over here. What I'm saying is hold on. You can all hear me clearly still. What I'm saying is that this whole conflict is ridiculous. I mean, hold on, let me put this back in its place. If this is Palestine, these two places here, and this is Israel, according to law, this is mostly desert down here, but they have land going all the way up here. Why do they insist on the land over here? Because if they would remove all the illegal settlements from over here, there wouldn't be much left of the Israeli economy to begin with. But here's some issue. Why this joker over here, demon possessed, won't say we're going to next when Trump's inaugurated as president again, we're going to this is the year we're going to apply sovereignty to the West Bank. Okay, if he claims to worship the Heavenly Father, then he should not only have the Father sovereign, not any nation or people. But anyway, why don't they just do it? This guy once complained that they could have easily starved and killed 2 million Palestinians, but the world wouldn't allow them. This is how sick this guy is. You can look it up for yourself. But he said they wouldn't let him. First of all, the rest of the world thinks what you're doing is starving 2 million civilians because you want to go after a militia group. And also, the Heavenly Father didn't allow it. So, and now there's a far bigger, where is the, okay, there's for a bigger area over here. They want to annex it completely. And they want to kick out 3.5 million people, or they have to become secondary residents in a country where they're abused and discriminated against. People say, Rashid, all these Arab leaders over there are all Zionists working together with Israel. You know what? I'm going to use the slur for Israel again, Busiland, that some people in the streets are using. I have a right to because it's my channel. You can stand it and leave my channel. I don't care because I'm not. Israel means prince in official etymology or nobleman. But the people there, first of all, they're not descendants from the tribe of Judah. The majority of them, they're Europeans who appropriated the identity of the tribe of Judah. So a lot of them endorses white supremacy. Not all, but a lot of them do. So that's not noble. And the way they overlook rape, molestation, and just violence against the Palestinians who are indigenous there and more related to tribe of Judah than they do. I'm sorry, but they're not allowed to call themselves noble. So I'm going to call them Busiland again for now. If all these Arab countries are all working together, are all under the spell of Busiland, how come when Netanyahu, the prime minister of Busiland, wanted President Sisi from Egypt to take in all the 2.3 million Palestinians into Sinai, how come each simply said, no, we're not going to do that? And if Busiland really wants to get rid of all the 3.5 million Palestinians over here, how come they didn't just throw them all into Jordan, make all Jordanian citizens? Why didn't they do that? Because Jordan's very clear. They don't want that. And if they keep pushing for it, it may be war. So, and America sent Anthony Blinken often to quote unquote negotiate or to pressure the Arab nations to work together with the Busiland, and they passed him around like a little bitch. He had to make many visits over there and got nothing done. Oh, and Busiland still does not have its hostages back after bombing. My God. Let me show you it over here. Gaza genocide. These all dead people were killed by the way, basically bombardments. And well, let me see if I can. Here, they threw a missile or a bomb on an ambulance. By the way, that's forbidden according to by international law. Here, they killed foreign workers because they thought it was Hamas, but it were actually foreign workers, and the world got upset with them. When you kill Western citizens, suddenly the West gets upset. These are bags with remains of human beings in them because Israel threw a rocket at a school, killed other people on the rubble, so they had to gather them in plastic bags. I mean, wow. Oh, by the way, a lot of Jews worldwide say it's not in the name of nothing to do with it, which I'm proud of. By the way, even before this whole Hamas-Israel war, there were a lot of Jews who are simply against all of this. They just never got media coverage. Now, I knew they existed because I never supported Busiland. Never. So I could see from the start that this was wrong. Again, sexual and gender-based violence against Palestinians during the Israel-Hamas war. Yep. They used sexual violence on them also. And where are the evangelical churches where so-called claim Busiland is the chosen people of God? Where are they? What I'm saying is that it's quite simple. The Gaza genocide exposed that the West has no values. The Western world has no values they believe in. 70% of all the victims according to the United Nations are women and children. Women. Israel killed a lot of women over there. Where are the feminists saying, hey, protect women? Where are the feminists who protected women and the children? Where are they? Oh, because it's a quote unquote white nation or a nation associated with white that kills women of color or brown women. Suddenly it's less bad because that white country that violates international law has the right to defend themselves in someone else's land. Even according to the United Nations, you can't defend yourself as a country in someone else's land. Your borders have to be defined, and you're not supposed. Then you can say, "We are defending ourselves as a country." You can't defend yourself in an area you occupy. Russia cannot claim to defend themselves in parts of Ukraine they occupy. Why? Because they're the one occupying the place. If you occupy a place, another country, you can't claim you defend yourself if the locals are fight against you. So the whole idea that Busi land has the right to defend themselves doesn't apply over here. I'm just showing you all of that to show you the whole situation that's been going on. There's even a Wikipedia page about the November Amsterdam attacks. Wow, they even make a Wikipedia page about it. Okay. Wow, they even labeled it as anti-Palestinianism during the Israel-Hamas war, anti-Semitism again during the Israel-Hamas war. Okay. Now look, let me tell you one thing. This whole situation over here, some people think, oh, Trump is elected again. Trump is pro-Busi land, so Trump is going to support Busi land. So it's going to be over. No, it's not. This shows unity and determination over here. And the West does not have determination, except determination in to hold on to their white supremacist fairy tale. And you used to have, okay, let me just show to you the first intifada. You used to have the first intifada, or the first Palestinian intifada, where it was an uprising against Israeli occupation, or Bushland occupation, my bad. And it lasted 5 years, 9 months, and 5 days. Was in the late 80s, early 1990s. Then the Palestinians had their own national government as a result. You had the first Oslo Accord, Madrid Concord. Then you had the second Intifada, which around 2000, 2005, and as a result, Bushland removed all its Israeli settlements from the Gaza Strip, but it stayed in the West Bank. Okay. Is that a Judean complying with Bushland? Oh my God. But anyway, there was another uprising. So, and these were mostly local resistance. And then you have what's going on right now. The Israel-Hamas war, which turned into the Gaza genocide. Here you have a country whose military strength is 529,500. So they have around 500,000 troops, and 100 from the United States. Okay, a lot of these people over here also have dual citizenship also. But and now they claim that the so-called Hamas group that they label as terrorist group has been 20,000 to 40,000. Hamas has no air force and no navy. They don't. Busiland has a navy, air force, I believe also have marines, and they have land, the force on land. You mean to tell me? And from these over 500,000 troops, 300,000 are reservists. So you have around 200,000 core members of the military and 200,000 reservists. And military service is mandatory if you are an Israeli Jew, by the way. The rest are not obliged to do it. You mean to tell me that with 300,000 reserves, or let's say 500,000 people all together, you couldn't defeat 40,000 guerrilla fighters in such a small place? While you get weapons from the United States, you get the best weapons from the United States, and you couldn't defeat 40,000 guys that hide in tunnels? And now you're at war with um, in Lebanon, with Lebanon too. Well, if though they say it's Hezbollah, but you're still attacking country Lebanon, and your ass is getting kicked over there too. Don't forget that uh, recently Iran kicked their ass by dropping missiles over there. So this whole situation is a failure on Buzeland's part. I'm just telling you that what is showing you in the media doesn't add up. Okay? So instead of admitting defeat and giving up this white supremacist fairy tale and actually learn to live with other people, these people are committing collective suicide. They are destroying themselves and bring everyone down with them. All right, told believers, don't get along with this. What you have going on right now is that this thing over here has become a global intifada. So instead of a third Palestinian uprising, you have a global uprising right now all over the earth against Israel Buseland aggression and against Zionism in general. And there are many Jewish people also that are part of it, many of them, which is a surprise to a lot of people. Wow. Now, why did I share all of this with you? I'm just going to give an example to you. Let's go back to the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War was a colonial conflict that America got involved in. It was between Indochina and France. America got involved. America decided to occupy Vietnam, but the Vietnamese thought, hell no, we don't want that. Then you had this incident that the United States faked, and then they attacked, and you saw the Vietnam War. From the Vietnamese people alone, it led to around 3 million people dying. 3 million Vietnamese people died. Many of them civilians. The word civilians also being guerrilla fighters, but still civilians. Question to you: when do you ever hear Vietnamese people going around misbehaving and then use the Vietnam War as an excuse? You don't hear that. Even though the Vietnamese were severely victimized and done dirty, including people from Cambodia and Laos nearby, Vietnam moved on as a nation. Now there are Vietnamese Americans who want the Saigon regime to come back. South Vietnam was a puppet state of the United States that fell. The United States still want to admit they were defeated, so they want to say they withdrawn from Vietnam. But anyway, there's still Vietnamese Americans that want this to come back, even though it will never come back. Talking about coonery, man. Oh my God. But anyway, you don't see Vietnamese going all over the place, claiming victimhood, even though American soldiers, indeed, a lot of them misbehave, rape, and murder people over there in horrible ways. That's been admitted. The Vietnam War was very unpopular back then, and a lot of people in the West turned against the war also. A lot of the veterans from the Vietnam War were shunned when they came back from the war. So this was kind of still sensitive in the United States. I have a cousin from the U.S. Virgin Islands who also participated in this war. He doesn't even want to talk about it because he doesn't even know why they were there. All right? But you don't see Vietnamese people using this legitimate grievance that happened to them as a way of, you know what, never criticize us, never say anything bad about us. No country in the world make laws against criticizing Vietnam. No country in the world, not even Vietnam's allies, made laws where any form of direct criticism against Vietnamese people is seen as a hate crime that needs to be punished. Why then, when it comes to Busiland, do we have all these laws, all this legislation to protect them from criticism, even when they are doing wrong in the open? Listen, when this genocide began, I knew already Biden failed, the West failed, because they're never going to get away with this. And you know what? They don't. I remember in the end of 2023, I was praying to Heavenly Father. And I was asking Heavenly Father, I can close this right now. Hold on a minute. I was asking Hold on a minute. That's not the right camera. Okay, that's the right one. I was asking Heavenly Father, why you allow this to, why you let this happen, especially all those children being murdered, and the world keep making excuse that oh they have to defend themselves, and the Lord told, I heard, listen, you can hear those spirit can talk to you. This is what the Holy Spirit told me. She just wait till you see what happens with the West. Again, ask Heavenly Father again earlier this year, I believe around February. Heavenly Father, why are you not doing something about this? Again, the Holy Spirit told me just wait till see what happens with the West. The first time I got that answer, very soon you had university process everywhere. They had academics joining them. They had communists joining them. Second time I got the answer, I didn't see much happening. But right now, there's social unrest growing all over the Western world that will not go away. And now with Trump winning the US presidency, even though there are people claiming now that there may be some fraud going on, because some votes were not counted for. I remember there were ballot boxes being blown up in the United States right before the elections. So some of those votes had to be done over, or what happened to them. So there are people suspecting voter fraud. But anyway, I'm not going into that. It may be a conspiracy theory. I don't know. And anyway, as far as I know there's nobody talks about doing a recount of the votes. No official publication came out about it. But anyway, Donald Trump, we can say, is the president-elect now. He's about to go inaugurate as president of the United States on the 20th November, 20th of January 2025. I'm telling you, the next Trump presidency is going to make things worse and worse. Look, there is this scholar, Shaikh Bolson. He's uh he's an American from German and Irish ancestry. He's a Muslim. I believe he's also married to a Palestinian woman, if I'm correct. But you can look it up for yourself. But he even said every missile that Busiland, he didn't say Busiland, but that's a term used right now for the rest of his live stream. He said Israel, but any missile that Busiland threw into Gaza fell down in the United States, fell down in the Western world. I'm paraphrasing now, but that's what he said. And it's true. Listen, a lot of people don't realize this yet. What goes on right now is a global intifada. And the majority of people participating are not even Palestinians. They're not even Arabs. They're not even Muslims. You have Europeans joining it. You even have people who normally don't even like children getting upset seeing all the children being blown, thinking, what the heck is this? They also campaigning right now. You have biker gangs who often even want to know anything about politics, just want to live their life as bikers, come on and say, leave the children alone. I mean, yet many pro-Bushland people will now turn their backs on Bush and say, hey, we were not be part of this. Some even renounce the citizenship of that place. Look, don't think this is just about Bushland over there. The fall of Bushland is the fall of the whole Western world. The unrest that's over there is growing in the West right now too. How will this end? Now, this is a prediction of mine. Either Trump comes into office and Trump says, okay, enough now. We need to respect international law. So, Bushland, get out of Gaza and the West Bank right now. If you don't, we stop all military aid and we put sanctions on you. If Trump does that, then there's going to be a collapse of Bushland internally, and it's going to be a full pariah state, failed state then. At the same time, the Arab nations will support Palestine, and you're going to see more Bushland strongholds being destroyed in the West also. What could also happen, which a lot of people predict, is that Trump is still outdated in his knowledge, going to go pro-Bushland, Bushland this and that, and Bushland's going to go a bit further, and the global intifada will become more and more, hostile, which will lead to internal infightings in the public, both in Bushland and in Western countries. And you're also going to have rifts between families, more unrest between the Muslim population and the people who have Islamophobia, and the rest of them may likely join the Muslims because they want to be with those Islamophobic nuts. So, however, way it goes, whether Trump goes pro Bussiland or say Bussiland now it's over, it doesn't matter. The West is going down. It just depends on how quickly the West is going down. What I also predict is that the Muslim world will solidify its grip over the Western world. So the Western world will become more and more Islamic, more and more. You already see a lot of Western people repenting to Islam, becoming Muslim in big numbers. And also, what also predict is that Asian nations are going to side more and more with the Muslim world. And through BRICS, this international alliance, the West will kind of be forgotten. What I do foresee is that Russia will crash eventually because this useless war they started on Ukraine. So Russia will crash likely and have to negotiate with Ukraine about the occupied territories are occupied. We'll see how that works out. But anyway, these are all predictions. I'm an anthropologist and sociologist. I have a background in international relations, and these are my predictions on what is most likely to happen. Can I be wrong in any of these things? Yes, because I don't know the future. Unexpected good things can happen, unexpected bad things can happen, but this direction the world is going into. So, what do we do as believers? We need to admit what goes on, and we need to make sure we're on the right side of history. If you join a movement that's questionable, and that movement becomes worse and worse, and eventually everyone is part of the movement will be seen as guilty. Listen, you can't say, well, I didn't know, I was only there for a good reason. No, no, no. The moment the movement was exposed as a satanic movement and you didn't turn against it and you didn't renounce it, you're guilty, you're part of it. And for the rest of your life, since you're all alive, you and people around you will face reputational damage because of it. People that support Bussiland, I'm not even going to address them over here. I mean, they have to look in the mirror and ask themselves, what the heck am I doing? I already concluded in a previous live stream that this pro-Palestine movement, which became this global intifada, is authorized by the Heavenly Father because Bussiland had a firm grip on many believers, hindering believers in walking by faith. So Bussiland has been hindering the glory of the Heavenly Father on the earth. Oh, and by the way, Bussiland doesn't even recognize the Messiah, doesn't even recognize Christ. So anyway, be on the right side of history and give up the idolatry and make sure you are prepared for the world that's forming right now. Look, when Christ comes back, he comes back. We don't talk about Jesus coming back. When he comes back, it's his business. We don't know. You know what? I don't care when he comes back. When he comes back, he comes back. If I'm still alive, great. If not, I'll be resurrected from the dead in an immortal body anyway. So will you. We have to live right now. I don't hear anything about going to heaven because none of us will go to heaven. We'll be resurrected, we'll be in the clouds temporarily, and then we'll be on the earth again forever. For those who will inherit the earth. Okay? And those who don't inherit the earth, the reprobates will be the lake of fire. So none of us will go to heaven. Simple as that. This whole thing of after you die, when Jesus comes back, listen, when Jesus comes back, it's a completion of his will working out. We are not there yet. We have to live right now in here and now. We have to bear fruit right now. We need to be active and be relevant right now. You hear me? So be relevant right now and see what direction the world's going into. The Muslim world is growing in influence. They're solidifying the grip of the Western world also. You have BRICS becoming more and more important. You have African nations growing in relevancy. Latin America will also become more relevant. The Western world will decline, cannot be avoided. The Western world is about to turn into a giant ghetto, little by little. In some places already like that, it's becoming more and more. So know these developments and know how to act within it. Now look, you still have to pray, decree, and declare, and you still have to follow the Heavenly Father's guidance on what to do in your situation. I'm not in your situation, I'm not in your shoes. So what may work for me the best may not work for you. So you have to pray, fast, and decree, and let the Heavenly Father guide you. All right? So is it clear to you all that we have to be relevant right now? We only have today. Yesterday, the past is gone. We can't do anything about it anymore. The future we don't control the future, but we can affect the future, have influence over the future by what you do today. You can only act today anyway. You can't act in the future. Because only when the future is there that you can act next the present, and you can't act in the past. You can process the past and correct the past by becoming better and safer people today. We need to be relevant today. Is this clear to you all? Let me know in the live chat. It's so clear to you. We need to be relevant today. We need to break through today. We need to be safe today. We need to be influential today. Today is the day of salvation. Today is the day that matters. Now, some things in life you need to wait a little bit. When Heavenly Father guides you to wait for a little, you wait for a little. But apart from Heavenly Father's guidance, today is the day. The moment is now. The right moment is not somewhere in the vague future you know nothing about. The right moment is now. You need to be relevant right now. I mean, if more believers were financially independent from society, nobody has full independence, what I explained in the previous live stream, but we can have independence from society. If more beliefs were economically relevant and therefore financially autonomous, yeah, that's a better term, financially autonomous. You're independent from society, but you're not fully independent human being. You can only be autonomous. If more beliefs were financially autonomous and economically relevant, we could have done a lot about what goes on right now. But because a lot of believers are neither economically relevant nor financially autonomous, guess what? Believers can only pray and hope for the best instead of actually being active on the ground. We need to be active on the ground again. How come devil worshippers? How come Satanists? How come drug traffickers, human traffickers, pimps, child traffickers? How come all these evil people and toxic people all on the ground active right now? And believers are waiting for some magical future sudden good event. What the heck are we doing? Hold on, let me see what goes on outside. No. So we have to be real right now. And what I'm about to say now may sound controversial, but listen. Let me just show it one more time. Before I show it, let me just. Okay. Let me share the screen. Okay. So after more than a year throwing rockets on Gaza, this is what they turned into it. A giant place with rubbles. This used to be cotton units before, with its own economy. This is what it is right now. Before, after, before, after. Before, after. You see that? They even had solar panels. They destroyed a part of a whole. They destroyed a part of a country, looking for terrorists to attack their own country, but they couldn't find the terrorists, so they were taking it out on civilians. Look at this. And American taxpayers assisted this because it's your tax dollars that America is using to fund the bombs that were given to Bushland, and Bushland abused all those bombs. So America kept this going. Over 40, I believe, over 42,000 people, majority women and children, were murdered. Look at this. This is what the West does: killing, stealing, and destroying. While claiming, well, we have to defend ourselves or we have no other choice. Listen, if a criminal hides in a kindergarten, am I going to bomb the whole kindergarten just to get a criminal? No. I'm going to evacuate the kindergarten, Or I'm going to wait till the guy leaves kindergarten and then I'm going to catch the guy. But you're not going to throw bombs everywhere just because the criminal may be there. Over half all the buildings are damaged. 70% of all the homes. And a lot of the homes were blown up for fun by Israeli soldiers who were breaking the law. But a lot of them have not been prosecuted yet. Think about all the women and children who died. I'm not going to share, but I saw images, footage of children being blown to pieces. Barge little children, organs everywhere. Yep. The Western world hates women and has a deep disgust for human life. And they have expressed this. Oh, only when you're considered quote unquote white or European just like them, for somehow they still regard you. If you're of color, my God, your life doesn't matter. And this Gaza genocide revealed it. It's a damn genocide, you all. You mean to tell me 40,000 militia members hiding in tunnels underground, and you have to blow up half of the whole, uh, let's say Gaza is not a country, but let's say like Gaza is like a country. You have to destroy half of the country with with so many people dying just because of it, causing a famine? By the way, it's estimated over 200,000 people may have died. Some people do an estimate of 200,000. Some people say 160,000, but come on now. And a lot of people they attacked were believers too, Christians. They bombed hospitals. Um, some patients would die because they couldn't get proper medical care. Wow. Here you have the Buzland soldiers doing their activities, defending themselves in a place they've occupied indirectly. The naval blockade and the economic blockade of Gaza can still be seen as an occupation, even if the military weren't there. But now they want to put the flag of her all over the place again. Any believer who can justify this, I'm sorry, but I do not want to be involved with you. Any believer that thinks this is okay, I'm telling you, if you're a believer, first get your deliverance, and I will deal with you again. But I will not associate with any believer who gets along with this. But you know what? There's a biblical prophecy. Oh yeah, this here is showing the red are all the places were damaged, kind of the whole place. 69,000 houses completely destroyed. Wow. Let's go to the Bible, okay? Because there's a verse I wanted you to know. There's a biblical prophecy. Let me go and read it. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 4 to 7. For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation. They shall drive out Ashdod at noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up. Woe unto the inhabitants of the seacoast, to the nation of the Cherethites. The word of the Lord is against you, O Canaan, land of Philistines. I will even destroy thee, that there shall be no more inhabitant. And the sea coast shall be dwellings and cottages for shepherds and folks for flock. And the coast shall be for the remnant of the house of Judah. They shall feed thereupon. In the houses of Ashkelon shall they lie down in the evening, for the Lord their God shall visit them and turn away their captivity. Now, the house of Judah. Those people in Busland today are not from the tribe of Judah. There are some Judeans over there, but they're not from the tribe of Judah. So this won't apply to them. So what this is showing is that the Heavenly Father will tolerate complete destruction to happen to that area, and little by little, it's going to be restored by the remnant of the house of Judah, the Judeans. Okay? And guess what? Was it not South Africa Was it not South Africa who started this genocide case against Busiland and they kept winning until now? Let's go to South Africa. Okay. Republic of South Africa, you see over here. And let's go to the president, Cyril Ramaphosa. Wow. A descendant from Judah. And let's look at the deputy president. Also looks like a Judean, the original ones. This one also. Wow. So you have a Judean government, as you can say, that stands up against Busiland who causing all this damage. So this biblical prophecy over here, the Heavenly Father is taking responsibility for what will happen. That's why it says, I will turn against you. God is taking it on himself, like he's the one doing all of it. So he's taking responsibility. Ashkelon. Let's look at where Ashkelon is. Ashkelon. Wait. Ashkelon is outside of Gaza. You can see. This is Gaza City, this is Gaza Strip. Did we read something about Ashdod too? Ashdod. So when we look at, okay, so remember this over here. Remember the biblical prophecy. Remember how small it is over here, this place. Let me pull it all the way to the United States, you can see. Hold on. I'm wrapping it up, guys. Hold on a minute. Yeah. We're in the United States. Let's go to California to see how big it is. It's not even that big, as you can see. LA is much far bigger. So let's go back and see the Gaza destruction. Okay. The world did forsake Gaza by allowing Bushland to continue all of this. But remember Ashkelon and Ashdod's going to be desolated too? I don't know if the exact same thing like here's going to happen to Ashdod and Ashkelon also, or that's going to be some other damage in similar way. But listen, this thing is backfiring on the whole Western world. And listen, the Western world may not turn into rubble completely like what happened to Gaza right now, but the social bonds and culturally, the Western world will be in rubbles. This unrest will not go away anytime soon. What do we do as believers? We serve the Heavenly Father. And remember, and the coast shall be for the remnant of the house of Judah. They shall feed thereupon, and in the house of Ashkelon shall they lie down in the evening. For the Lord their God shall visit them and turn away the captivity. Those Bushland people never went in captivity. When did they go into long-term captivity, being on slave ships and all of that? Didn't happen. Deuteronomy chapter 28 doesn't apply to them. I know to whom it applies. And to whom it applies, they are going to be the ones restoring all the damage done by the Western world. So join the Judeans that serve the Heavenly Father. Remember, first the Judean, then the rest of mankind. So the Heavenly Father works. Okay? Isaiah chapter 60. So where's it said? The niche. Here. In Isaiah chapter 60, verse 12, for the nation and king that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. This goes on the way to the United States of America right now. Most of the rest of the Western world who doesn't comply with Judah's restoration will waste themselves. So this is happening right now. So this is far bigger than just Gaza, far bigger than just Palestine. the West destroyed itself completely. It can never recover, and it will be overtaken by the Muslim world. And from the Muslim world, you also have Judeans from there becoming dominant. Biblical prophecy will be fulfilled. The world will retaliate against this at some point in the future. That will be the Great Tribulation. And then, when they realize that the retaliation won't work, they end up devouring one another to the full. And then, suddenly, Christ comes back. So a lot still needs to happen before Christ comes back, but it's all working out right now. It's all working out right now. So get along with the biblical prophecy and don't do yourself short, okay? This is Los Angeles. Look how small Gaza is. And use all this aggression, all these people. Lord have mercy, man. Anyway, I hope this is all clear to you all. Again, I made some I explained biblical prophecy in this live stream, and then I also made some anthropological and sociological predictions. Do not confuse my anthropological and sociological predictions with biblical prophecy. Those are separate. The biblical prophecy is biblical, it's from the Heavenly Father. The anthropological and sociological predictions are from me, even though I do base them partially on biblical prophecy also. So, you know what to do. I agree with Christ. Walk by faith, be relevant today, and do not think with this diabolical, Baphomet loving West supremacist fairy tale that a lot of people are holding on to. And it's not just Europeans, you also have Asians, Africans, Arabs, Spanish. You have a lot of people, Polynesian, a lot of people in the world who are whitewashed with onto this white supremacist fairy tale. Everyone holding on to this white supremacist fairy tale, whether they're European or coons from other nations, doesn't matter. They're all going down right now. Don't go down with this thinking shit. Leave this Baphomet. That means Baphomet. That is the ancient Greek god Ganymedes, which was the pedophile god of the ancient Greece. Leave this pedophilia infested fairy tale behind you, or else you'll face the consequences, and it will not be on me because I warned you. But okay, are there any questions about this topic? Please let me know them in the live chat, please. Please let me know them in the live chat. Thank you all for listening to me. It's been 1 hour and 5 minutes. Okay. Share, if you're a bit late, doesn't matter. You can watch the replay anytime. Shana B is saying over here, our friend was in a war and was never the same after seeing the loss of innocent children. Well, guess what? There are people now celebrating the blowing up of these children. There are people celebrating that right now. So that's how far things have gone now. Yes, we need prayer for guidance, absolutely. All of us do. We have to process what's going on right now so that we are ready today, so that when prophecy progresses further, we are ready. Too many believers are not ready when the prophecy goes further. They're not ready for it. Well, you be ready. Don't be like the foolish virgins in the parable of Jesus that didn't fill the lamps with oil, and then when the time came to shine their lamp, they couldn't do it, and they were kicked out of the wedding. Don't be like them. Be like the wise virgins who purchased oil on time, and so they were ready when the groom came. Your whole life should not center about Jesus Christ coming back. Your life should center around that Christ is Lord right now. He'll come back when he comes back. So we should look forward to him coming back, but it shouldn't go that far that we neglect our lives right now. It should all be around him being Lord now. The kingdom of God is in you right now. Amen. So, for all the believers who are still stuck in this pro-America, pro-Busiland, Western racial mindset, get out of it right now, because you are going to lose very hard. You're going to get your ass kicked too by both demons and by the world very soon. if you continue like this. Repent, wash yourself, align yourself with the true prophecies, and be relevant in the present. Amen. Anyway, I didn't get any questions. Thank you all for being here. Keep on agreeing with Christ, and I'll see you next time. Shalom.